So Abronya will come and say, na can you Japan scandalized court or more man is right. Kevin Taylor scandalized, and I made them scandalized, more man is right. And then the confusion will start. A court will say they won't give sectoral right. MPP will put people on the streets. Police will shoot at them. And then we are turning it upside down.
Hell, do you think you are? Foolishness. We pay you. Master, I don't want any foolish idiot to text me later. Who the hell is Sam George? I say, who the hell is that fool? I'm ready for you any day. Foolish man. Ube who say, a drop you, baby. Messi member will drag at them. Messi, ube wrong what's not from. Me, I'm telling you that. If somebody thinks I'm sitting here because of Mahama, then you are stupidly stupid. I'm telling you. You can call your Mahama and ask him. And if John Mahama thinks I'm sitting here because of him, he is thinking stupidly. Oh, me shebia honte. Akonyebia to say toilet. Oh, you hine se bedi enim na musomra so say you se be cancel man puntumra abrabom. Edian hine na yedi ni sa no. Ah? Edian hine na yedi ni sa no. Wo na wo ma santemai say otufo. Wo na wo say santemai o tom. Obi o mon kan kire wo. Asantemai say e ye wo otufo. Na otufo te wo. Na yesi sebio wona nanom mo baaye no sa nkwase asem we komo so ankende akonwa kase we enkeda ho mo so nsemfo so dodo ye bu akonwa nim tia na yeso nyoma so otufo you have limited power. You have limited power. Asante is nothing. See 2 million asante biem 2 million ni menhia biem ni mumpaya wo wiase nyina ye showa masarai bebediza when the Corinthians onimdie wo nyina ontumi san bayare Ankan Williams ono so ne ba no so aboda mo se den osoro na wate chain we ni kwate fia te se mire edidi nkwase asem o TikTok was Ankan William wa bompaya wo wiase nyina de brofo abo ontumi san bayare na mo mogibigi nyara mensa otabo akwatena court a bank board so we wie sika tetram o de nam Ghana osoro na o hye Igbo curtains reverend obofo se hwanhwan ne nine say Egyptian pen or the Kwasiafo budi de chiwagigi mu sika nyina koto phantom and o ka kire mu se osom no eya azan afa wa oba no fon chen mi and wa kese chen mi I said if Somalia e kuro bi ade fe no enkinkensu and ade ne baaye and otewa hwanafo no some wagimi arimi yawe edidi chief imam office de chi and o ye corruption adwuma wo ho because on say chief imam nyini chief imam on hwe TV chief imam on tie radio and arimi yawe na bodwe se peg and
okay, so Kevin Taylor say here ka say ne court warrant ana da no so ye finiso now Paul Adom Otchere also on do a lawyer memeti menye lawyer Paul Adom Otchere na akusuku o ye lawyer e manfo 18 komo mu buza say ono abo Canada Japan enso kaseti a ye court e ma wo e ma yi ni so no so nkoni baabi eti amanfo e de toto ono abo Canada Japan de ne ho e na manfo so ka muntie ni nsem bebre ho menye lawyer na Paul Adom Otchere ye lawyer one wonim die a waba abonten wo chirichiri mu said the idea netie with a yamara no anyhow we see koye ono abo de na we kofo e kan minute to Kevin Taylor de no ho so wadi hu nkomo achirichiri it wu pemu nchiri mu ya Paul Adom Otchere video mebo achiro no wati asem wo kan ye with yamara no adekunti omuja ono abo man koye ne ade ne Kevin Taylor de no omedi hu nkomo nyina ye wi a eye Reverend Ntim Fordjour so tena ase di nkomo e de afasa case we hu you bet tie ni nyina e wo page we ya so no so be subscribe to channel no and no first there na if watch video no na the comment so comment section me adom for notification odin kan edi nkomo e de fa national security question bi ekobusa no e no wo kire se wo chale me de me no menye immigration officer eti Kevin Taylor ba Ghana ana soldier foreman be bi tinani ade a me ni ho asem ka nti journalist a wo busa me sa question ya pese me ya no pese me kama ne kosi sen e na Paul Adom Otchere kire se sa comment no make and very dangerous according to Paul Adom Otchere.
So he may also have an interest in a journalist talking about the court in a negative way, the court that convicted NCA people and was about almost convicted somebody that he knows very well. And we know how that's happened. We know. The appeal succeeded. That's how it happened. But we know. Okay, but it's unethical to talk about it. Now, because of that, it was incumbent on him as minister not to indicate any relationship, any connection with anything, and to answer a question about somebody has come that if you don't know that he has come, you don't know, but you support the view that if he has come, the law should take his course. And those who know where he is, they may well proceed and use the stage to, not to tell the journalist in what looks like sarcasm, with smile, that I'm not an immigration officer. Minister for Defense. The Minister for Defense is, by the way, one of the high-profile ministers. If you look at the pegging order, President, Vice President, Chief of Staff, I think finance is number 1. I think defense is 2 or 3. Maybe defense attorney general. They are very high-profile ministers. And I was worried. When I watched the video, I said, whoa. People were sending it to me that, your man, did you? I said, yeah, I saw it. Anyway, we have 2 interviews, so let's get into the details of the matter. We have thank you, Honorable Minister for Defense, thank you. We have a small matter to discuss. It will take just 5 minutes because Ntim Fordjour is here and the beautiful Oponkroma is here. We just want to say this from the constitutional arrangement and from democracy, that this is the Chamber of Parliament and this is the office of the executive. There's a reason why under most democracies, including Ghana's democracy, people are called upon to elect by voting the people who end up in parliament, in the legislature. People are called upon to elect by voting the man or woman who will end up as the top executive, the president. They are called upon to elect. There's a reason why we are not called upon to elect the judiciary under our democracy. In some places it happens, but in most places it doesn't. We are not called upon to elect the judiciary because the longest lasting democracies have observed that there always need to be one state institution, an arm of government, that is the bulwark of democracy. So under the Constitution, when this one expires on 6th January, and this one also expires on 6th January, it is this one that does not expire. So on the morning of the swearing in, the morning after Parliament has been dissolved, before the new Parliament comes in, the Lord Chief Justice, acting as the 4th most important person in the pecking order, maintains the position of the leader of the state. And then the Chief Justice goes to the Independence Square. Now, the reason is that there has to be some even playing field for all Ghanaians here. Everyone understands, since Marbury and Madison, that the Supreme Court, when it's making a decision, can make a decision based on political philosophy. If you go to America, it's not a secret. They'll tell you that the Republicans have the court or the Democrats have the court. Not because the Democrats elected people to the courts, but because the Supreme Court judges, of 9 of them, are divided into, people know how they think in America because of data. By the time you become a Supreme Court, they know that you are right, left, center. Everyone knows that. So if the court is more right-wing thinkers, then on matters that go to Supreme Court on policy, on constitutionalism, they are more likely to go left or right. On every matter of policy and constitutionalism, there's always a left and right. You take free SHS to a court, that you want to say that free SHS is illegal. You will notice that the right-wing people might support you because they don't like government participating in all of those things. You will notice that the left-wing people will not support you. They will agree that it's not illegal, government must pay for it. On a matter like that, on a policy like that, everyone knows that there will be left and there will be right. 31st December to be celebrated as a holiday. There will be left and there will be right. Election petition has come. The fact shows a certain way. Those judges who are in there for the stability of the state will tell themselves that the president has already been sworn in. He has formed his government. He's 9 months into the government. Why are you going to give a ruling that we should go back and vote again? No. I'm going to be progressive. I go on. Then there's another judge who is a stickler for truth. That's their philosophy. That even if he's in power for 2 years, if the election was wrong, it's wrong. Analysts can look at the Supreme Court of 11, 10, 9 and say that this case is going this way. That's allowed. That's really allowed. But if you come below that and you come to procedure and processes, it is not permissible that processes can change because the politics of the executive or the
Parliament. Eneja Otchere semu kakra enso fa Parliament ene ha wo musi kwahye arrest warrant ne ade Supreme Court interference ne politician interference ne aban no interference Otchere semu bebre because po Adom Otchere no enim mra law sem no ni ade ntino ni journalism na oye no ya wode mra no so sa wurwuram akirikiri mu yi ne no de nambro fum ne wo kakọ nanim sa entipo Adom Otchere sanso go deeper akirikiri mu ade property siye muntie die na omole toto ho no ono abode omole toto ho any affairs was bubo nkofo mebredi oboboye omonso anya court cases a oni nyina ye de etoto ho.
Politics of the legislature is dictating what happens here in high courts, in court of appeal. So if somebody has defamed me or I have defamed somebody, I've sat here and said that Omanebo Ama is this that Omanebo Ama sues me and then he sues me in defamation. Come and prove what you said. And it should be thought that within the context of politics, the High Court judge would determine that MPP is in power, so he will rule for me, or that NDC is in power, so he will rule for Manibuama. That should never be the case. And that has happened in Ghana recently, and I'm going to show you how it happened. The other point I'll make before I show you what had happened is that the framers of the Constitution are also aware, and I'm coming to the constitutional article, or perhaps, no, let me do the Ken Crunchy one first. Now, this is Ken Crunchy. During the election petition of 2013, he made statements that were suggested that he had scandalized the court. Ken Crunchy MDC was in power during the election so this is 2014 matter. Or 2013, during the petition, yes, NDC were in power. So Ken Crunchy was said to have made statements that are scandalous of the courts. So they hauled him before the court. His lawyer was the learned Otchere. The court made the decision that Ken Crunchy has scandalized the court, and therefore he should serve a contempt of 1 month. He was NPP, he's still NPP. NDC was in power, he was NPP. During the pendency of the trial, Akogun, Mugabe Mase, and the other guy, they also made statements that were scandalous of the court. What happened? Guess what? They were also hauled before the court and they were convicted for contempt. Keep the 3 there, I'll come to Enieboa. Because in the context of procedure and the context of the courts, there should be no favoritism as to how the court relates to this and relates to that. NDC was in power. And the 3 of them were convicted by the Supreme Court. John Mahama was president. And then they went into prison. But here's the catch again. Because the executive president, elected by a popular majority, is an important factor in the constitutional arrangements, every constitution gives the president the power to pardon people. Do you know why it does that? Because the constitutional framers fathom that the president's brother, the president's mother, the president's friends, his classmates, the relative of his cabinet, they may fall foul of the law. And if they do, a democratic arrangement does not permit the president to save them so long as they've fallen foul of the law. So if the president's brother drives a car into 30 girls and kills them, the Constitution knows that the president, even though he's president, will not be able to do anything about it because his brother will be treated by the law as it ought to be under a democracy. However, the constitutional framers don't want the presidents to be in a bad frame of mind. And whether, because you are human, whether you like it or not, if the president's brother is jailed, he will be in a bad state of mind. If the president's in a bad state of mind, it's probably bad for the whole of Ghana. If the president is not married and he has a girlfriend, and his girlfriend goes to slap somebody at a supermarket, that girlfriend of the president will be hauled before the law. And the constitutional framers are aware that this will disturb the president. However, we do not want the president to be able to interfere with it because equality before the law is a bulwark of constitutional democracy. Therefore, in almost every constitution, the president is allowed to take some people out of jail when they have been jailed. In Ghana, you will find it in Article 72. It is entitled The Prerogative of Mercy. And Google the word prerogative. What he wants to do, you do it. It's almost like a discretion. And the Constitution gives the president that power. It says the president may, acting in consultation with the Council of State, grant to a person convicted of an offense a pardon, either free or subject to lawful conditions. He can give a person a free pardon. A B, grants to a person a respite, either indefinite or for a specified period, from the execution of punishment imposed on him as an offense, or substitute a less severe form of punishment imposed on the person, or remit the whole or part of the punishment imposed on a person of a penalty or forfeiture otherwise. This is what the 1992 Constitution grants the president. So that in effect, they are telling the president that you really cannot interfere when people who are close to you have done something wrong. What you can do is that after they've convicted, we have given you Article 72. Because we also don't want the president to be sitting there and thinking, yeah, my boy is in jail. What do I do? Then he said, have you been to him? How is he doing? Oh, my goodness, what is it? They say, Mr. President, it's cabinet. So forget about the cabinet meeting. Charlie, they've jailed my guy. What is this now? Because we don't want the president to do that. And we also don't want the president to interfere in the delivery of justice. We have given him Article 72. Now, it's interesting. It's almost like a film. This Article 72 was implemented in the case of the Muntie 3. Put them back. Now, Muntie 3 were jailed. But they are the president's people. They are NDC people. They are Julius Debra's people. The party people know them. The party people love them. So the president was under pressure. And you remember...
much you know, of course, a judges here. Or mutinasi, time I know more Muntie ni one cases, no. Or court judges need the SO, and no pictures guso. And we church the judges ni munina, maku no kase. If you know America crano, because of my system, no, a system with Timmy powerful effective in it, no. Ubi a judge and near the idea. O munim say we dear, we NDC, mechanic sakeke, we do MPP, mechanic sakeke, because America only left, right, and left, right, now right, one range, now one. It was also go deeper, and we church the mu, say our judges be near the adibu or monso affiliation with political parties be near the adeno, and also to me influence a judgment be our court.
Reason. I interviewed President Mahama then, and he explained the reason why he did that. It made a lot of sense. Because the Constitution grants him the power to do that, so that he does not jeopardize the judicial arrangement, which is a foundation of the Republican Constitution. So, Ken Kranchi, where's Ken Kranchi? Ken Kranchi was jailed. President Mahama didn't give him any... No, this is my neighbor, please. This is not Ken Kranchi. I beg you, take it off. Ken Kranchi was jailed. President Mahama didn't give Ken Kranchi any pardon. You MPP man, you are jail, go and be jail. Okay, it's fine. Go inside. So Ken Kranchi went inside. As soon as Muntie 3 were jailed, the NDC people started knocking on President Mahama's door. Article 72 is there. Take our people out. And he did. You may not like it, but it was in conforming with the Republican Constitution. Then there's another matter. When I hope you have Sir John, please, if you have Sir John, let's talk about the Sir John matter. In the same case, there was also Sir John, who was, and now these convictions, what happens is that when they issue a warrant, the warrant means that come to court. Apreku will be telling us that in a minute. The warrant means come to court and come and explain. In the case of Sir John, his lawyer was Ni Ayikwe Otu. Sir John went before the same court that jailed this one and Ken Kranchi. And Ni Ayikwe Otu went and said, my lord, my client is sorry. He is begging. He is a general secretary of the party. And he was speaking as a party man. My lords, please temper justice with mercy. We beg. We really beg. Justices looked at themselves, discussed it and said, okay, Sir John, go and sin no more. So that's always a possible outcome in a contempt arrest warrant. You can go to the court and then be asked to leave. It's always an outcome. It's always a possible outcome. But the other way of doing it that I couldn't say that the Supreme Court has today, that one is a problem. But anyway, let's see the judges who did the contempt for these people, and then we are wrapping up there because we have big interviews coming up. Justice Eni Yeboah was on that panel that decided that Ken Kranchi and also the Muntie 3 should go to jail. The acting Chief Justice of today, Lord Justice Bafo Boni, Justice of the Supreme Court, was on the panel. When people scandalized the court, he was on the panel in that one, and he agreed that they must serve a jail term because they don't have enough reason to have scandalized the court. What does scandalize the court mean? Insult a judge, say a judge has done this, all of that. Okay. Who else was on? Justice Jones Doche. Don't we miss Justice Doche? Everyone misses Justice Doche. He's just a sweet man. Justice Jones Doche was also on the panel in that one. And then you had Justice Gabriel Poamang, who is currently the chairman of the committee listening to the Justice Tokonu petition. Justice Gabriel Poamang was on the panel then. It was a unanimous decision, by the way. And then you had Justice Yawa Pao, who was also on the panel. And it was a unanimous decision. Is that all? So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A 5-0 decision of the Supreme Court that Ken Kranchi of the NPP and Muntie 3 of the NDC, both of them have scandalized the court. NDC was the president. Both of them went to jail. NDC used Article 72 to remove their people so that they didn't serve the full sentence. This morning, the quorum was led by Justice Amadou Tanko, who presided, Justice Ernest Jehu, who dissented. He felt that the warrants should not have been vacated in the manner that it was done. We are eagerly waiting for the reasons, and then we will treat Justice Jehu's dissenting opinion in some great detail. And then there was Justice Philip Bright Mensah, who decided that the warrants should be vacated. It doesn't matter because the reasons they gave. We're waiting also for their reasons. And then there was Justice Simon Subari, who also was part of the 4. I think it's finished. And this is Justice Senyor Jamefe, who was also part of it. This is what happened today, and this is our small commentary on it, that this is not the way we should build our democracy, because what has happened means that my friend Abronye will scandalize the court. He can say anything about the Supreme Court. And then they'll issue a warrant, and then he'll come to court and say, I have a certiorari. Because today, they were citing Kennedy Japan. That, Kennedy Japan too scandalized the courts. Didn't he scandalize, and then they went and then they removed him.
The poor don't watch the children when you know what you say, no. I didn't see your papa. Because ebema ebia abronye betima tenase no akase me nso ma abronye so me nso metima fire nkofo me fire o mu wi at the end of the day no me kotu wono abuye bi mugya no kavitela ye bi mugya no we asoma sinso ye bi mugya no ade na me de muntimi nya me na poado mo chirichiri mu se eno nso balance ha enye eyade a etia eye oman no amamra.
So abronye will come and say na can you Japan scandalized court or mo man secretary. Kevin Taylor scandalized, and I made them scandalize them on the secretariat. And then the confusion will start. A court will say they won't give secretariat. MPP will put people on the streets. Police will shoot at them. And then we are turning it upside down. Because these days, with power of media, gun doesn't win. Gun doesn't go anywhere. You shoot, look at Togo, they are in crisis. Look at Ruto in Kenya, all over the place. Gun doesn't go anywhere. So Abronya will go and do that. And then he knows what he's doing. He is sure about what he's doing. Then they'll go and catch him and take him to a Kumasi High Court, and he'll say he won't go. He won't go. Then he'll bring certiorari to the Supreme Court, and the Chief Justice may or may not list it. I don't know. Or he lists it, and then the certiorari fails. And then the MPP say, hey, why is the certiorari failing? When this one? And then they say, today, then we are going. They are in opposition. They don't have much work to do. They are looking for something. And then they charge in Kumasi and put 1 million people on. Kill them. And let's see. And whose fault would it be? Whose fault? Whose fault would it be?
We no and what the Ntim Fordjour a toast Ntim Fordjour so chair na adwene e wo ho.
And the enterprise of people who, on various social media have made it their business to be insulting, bastardizing, and passing derogatory comments about presidents, about chiefs, about imams, even the whole entire religion of Islam, and almost every important person in society now receives state security, state protocol. Right from the manifest, when his flight showed up, and his name popped up, because that ruling persisted by the court, and that Kevin Taylor there was a bench warrant that was pending on him, they quickly should have activated the necessary security apparatus to get him arrested and to cooperate with the judges. But what do we see? He was rather received on the tarmac, taken through gates 19 VVIP, and when some of us put it out there, some section of Ghanaians thought that it was some imagination. And today, when he did appear before court, then they said, oh, okay, so you knew what you were talking about. Why would we put out anything that is not verified? So indeed, he came within the first week of July. He arrived. We have the full details, flight pictures, and all those details. And it is so disappointing that at the time, when Ghana has taken a decision to strip off every civilian of military protection,
including members of
parliament, and the chairman of EC and the deputy chair, this is the time Kevin Taylor receives full military protection, drive him all the way to Prestige Link.
And the Minister of Defense says that he's not a member of the immigration.
To
answer such questions.
And I mean, just watch the posture. And if that was something that was true, would that have been the posture? We have to be very serious in this country.
Abusia asem na da ho ni nyina ni. Enkofo miensa anase ye mmesa na nan e Ghana wo pa amom yanchi wo ne echine beji wo politics ndi wo de hu hyem se wo ye dia no wayi wani aye ni yi ni ehunu se wo wa ha anase wo wa ha na ne nkofo na ye politicians na wo ya amom ndi omutumi ata wachi wochi eye okatachi afrifa obepie ne wochi Kevin Taylor ene obepie ne wochi eye Captain Smart ne obepie ne because omayi omani mo hunu se meme wa ha we so yin se me wa ha nti eba ne sa na mra na wo Ghana ne de eye adwumo nanso team na e friend no eye politics na omdo omu akohyemu no omu parties no eta omachi nti so wo pese eye politics de yiwanim ne yeni yi na asem to a omu ankasa team so we de yakola no no ma so over the amount echire din.
How to use the laser home kit. First, apply the gel directly to the tooth surface as demonstrated on the video. Second, connect the light to your phone using the USB provided. Leave the light shining on your teeth for 16 minutes. Fourth, rinse your mouth and the mouthpiece with water, cold water. And lastly, smile. Using the toothpaste separately. Brush twice daily with the toothpaste. Bear in mind, this product is not suitable for pregnant women, breastfeeding mothers, and children under 18 years old. Enjoy!
I am cheerful. So, pair a sifita structure of what yet, and the enough for Hokodom unique laser whiten. Any tea stains, coffee stains, smoking stains, beer, unique laser whitening product. Ever in every summer, come. The Oyan is so befraying. I was 079 99792330. Unique laser whitening, or say Muni Seso.
Abone Fonti, I was so no bumble here. Name Papa Mudie, Pro Technologies, and American Farmer. Anne Pro Technologies. We are specialized in both sales and installation of CCTV cameras. Yes, on ESA install CCTV cameras in the Sour Ghana and NASA brochure now for Ghana. Now, best CCTV camera installation. We need Pro Technologies and in South. We have CCTV camera installation, electric fence, automated gate, access control, video doorbell, and our intercom, and our satellite TV, home theater, so we pay biato, and our water, and our PCB install them out. Pro Technologies and our software. National so. Say fidie nyina from America bochime ndi send papa na padia man nwene ho na ne bo anso da form ne ye general construction so pese si fie di ma say ya bansoro dentia so wa hyase na pese ewie di ba ana afa na pese si di ma wo no woni en eni sawoso ne de wo ni se ye no nyina ne wa bochime mu ha ene branch e wa Ghana na enim obra wo bre ndi so sika fa ensemu a sro bia enim wo dad da e dan bi apese osi plan bia and when she saw here solar power and a bamba wants and send the idea only Pro Technologies and miss our so yeah smart home a bathroom video be a person show fee and now intercom a bihujuma and yes fancy interior decoration yes you feel amount and now our fee now person see what the mawo say a office you be travel neat near your car tracker and a GPS how bet media track your car be a car and bia obet my hair a phone so and register what phone video be now who can first install it and now the settings yeah be your Ghana office ewo Ashie Adenta Dodoa Road yene CBG ene di animhwe for information or WhatsApp +1 401 75 70 300 and +1 401 69 92 254. Pro Technologies. Customer satisfaction is our topmost priority.